when you are going through a hard time, whatever that hard time may be, like life brings us to, right? There's many different things. I would say to go through it alone, or if you really trust someone. But a lot of times it's coming from someone who has somewhat of a toxic mom, or just certain family members, or maybe friends. I dealt with all of that, and maybe you have a supportive mom and you should really, go to your supportive friends or your mom. But sometimes the people close to you, they could be toxic due to childhood trauma or jealousy, the crabs in the barrel competition syndrome, or they want to compare themselves to you, so they have some form of hate or jealousy, or they just have trauma that they don't even understand. And sometimes people don't even understand their own trauma or their own emotions, and that's on them. But you should really try to not go to those people if you know that there's some form of toxicity, jealousy, hate, or just toxicity, or even negative. Sometimes people, they had a childhood that was negative, so in their adulthood they think negative. That's why I say, when you go through problems, whatever the problems may be, life throws a lot of different problems your way. Try to go through it alone. Try to go through it through prayer, through God. Talk to God every day. Let God be your friend, and God's gonna help you. He's gonna protect you. He's gonna help you so much. He's gonna give you so much healing, so much blessings. So if you go to a family member for help, let's say a negative one, and sometimes if you're younger, it's hard to use discernment, it's hard to use wisdom, but they'll say maybe that person has some type of jealousy or hate, or they're just toxic, or they're just negative in some way, and they will try to bring you down. I mean, what does somebody do when they're drowning? They try to drown the other person, and sometimes they don't even mean to. And sometimes people do mean to. Sometimes people purposely do it because they're selfish. They could suffer from mental illness like narcissism, or just thinking about themselves and not really having compassion for others because of their self-centered ways. But regardless of that, whether they know what they're doing or whether they don't know what they're doing, that's not the point. The point is just to not go to. The main thing is, if you go to them and they have some form of jealousy, hate, or they're just negative or toxic in some way, they may give you bad advice. You never know what somebody's personal agenda is. They may give you bad advice, or let's say they do have good intentions for you, but they're just insecure themselves, or they don't know their own trauma. They still may give you bad advice. And there's been many times in my life, like, I feel like right now I'm at a pretty stable place, and that's to God, and I give thanks to Him for that. But time in my past where I was maybe 21 and I just had a baby, and I really wanted to go to school to become a police officer, and I was really going to do it. I was going to sign up, and my mom and my sister were like, no, people die, you can't do that. And there's just been many times where I've gotten bad advice, and I realized that these people, notice now that I am close to being 30, that my mom and my sister do have some type of feelings of jealousy, hatred, and even insecurity towards me. And there have been many times where they've kind of given me bad advice, and I listen to them. And there's been many times in my life where I've gone through bad things, and the people closest to me, or even them, they would laugh, they would say negative things when I was going through hard things. And I never understood it, because I thought that this is my mom, this is my sister, or maybe you think someone's your friend, the people closest to you. And what happens when you go through something bad, the first thing you want to do is call somebody that you love and that you trust, which is your family and your friends. And sometimes, unfortunately, they don't have that in them. They don't have this. Unfortunately, some people, they don't have the same heart as you. And basically, some of the signs that People could hold some type of jealousy, hate, insecurity, low confidence, the spirit of comparison where they're comparing their life to yours and they have some type of jealousy or hate towards you or insecurity, or even just toxicity, negativity, whatever it may be. Signs that people are this way is that they laugh at you when you go through hard times. They tell you bad things when you're going, they kind of kick you while you're down. They tell you bad things while you're going through hard times. They will gaslight you. They will, make fun of you or tell you really negative things and then say, I didn't mean it like that, or I never said that, I don't remember that, or I was trying to help you. That's something, they'll tell you, I was only telling you that negative, really bad stuff to help you. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to give you advice. Gaslighting is the same thing as kind of like when people throw rocks and they try to hide their hand. And of course, people don't want to admit that they're jealous or that they have some type of hate and jealousy towards you, or that they're insecure and confident, or they're intimidated by you, or they don't want to admit that they're selfish or a narcissist or mean or a bad person. And they don't want to admit these things. They don't want to admit it to you. They don't want to admit it to others. And sometimes they don't want to admit it to themselves. But energy doesn't lie. So if you feel these things, I think sometimes when I was younger, I would try to ignore these things and think like these are my family, my friends, and they really care about me. And I would try to, when I was younger, I would try to ignore things. And now that I've gotten older, I realize that it's really, really important to pay attention to everything, every little thing, and take it very, very seriously. So when people give backhanded compliments, when they tell you mean things, when they tell you little sarcastic, mean jokes, when they laugh at you, when they try to gaslight you or throw rocks and hide their hands, or they try to not invite you to events or places, and they will always try to backpedal. Whenever I confronted my sister or somebody, they would always try to say like, if the party was last minute, or I didn't mean it like that. She even tried to say that she accidentally clicked on, it was like a post on Facebook where she put a laughing emoji to a video of somebody. A friend of mine had posted a video on Facebook trying to disrespect me, and my sister had put a laughing emoji to the video, and I confronted her about it. And she was just like, I never meant to even react to that dumb video. I accidentally clicked the laughing emoji. But I don't know, when you're on Facebook, you can't accidentally click the laughing emoji. You would actually have to like it, and then you would have to search for the emoji that you want to put, and then you would have to double click. So, people are always going to try to backpedal, lie, gaslight, even manipulate and lie. They're never going to admit that they're jealous of you, that they're a hater, they're being, people are just never gonna admit that they're, haters, or that they're insecure, or that they like to bully other people. They're not gonna admit that, so they're always gonna try to lie, manipulate, backpedal. They're always going to try to gaslight or throw rocks and hide their hands, and they're always going to try to lie. So, I don't know, I wouldn't even bother confronting people anymore. I would just say they don't need to be in your life. I mean, when I was 20, yeah, you could fight and you could argue, but now that I'm 30, why even waste your time with all of that, I don't know, I would say the best thing is that people who disrespect you or even do little things, or they're secretly jealous of you, or they're insecure and they're a hater, they're trying to bring mess into your life. I would say the best thing to do is just completely ghost them. They don't need to be in your life at all. I understand if it's a sister or a mom, you kind of have to maybe be more lenient with them, but if they keep disrespecting you, my best thing was to completely ghost them. They don't need to be in your life at all. And sometimes don't even bother confronting them, because they're just going to add more mess to your life. People who are jealous and insecure can be very dangerous because they're very jealous and insecure, and maybe they have trauma and they hold a lot of hate and they have jealousy and insecurity. The first murder in the Bible was Cain and Abel. The brother was jealous of the other brother. People could put their hands on you when they're jealous of you, when they're a hater. They could try to kill you. They could try to set you up. There has been many incidences where friends and family set people who are jealous, insecure, or a hater. They could set you up to be jumped, to be murdered. Even the Bible says the spirit of jealousy is not to be played around with. I know that it's easier said than done. I know, like, when you're in your 20s or you're emotionally immature or young still, the first thing you want to do is fight, and you want to argue, and you want to prove your point, and you want to prove that this person is jealous or a hater, they're insecure, and you had nothing but good intentions. And because people like this will lie, and they'll even try to flip it around on you, and they'll lie because jealousy, insecurity, haters are very, very dangerous people. And some suffer even from mental illnesses like narcissism and selfishness, or bipolar, multi-personality disorder. But it's easier said than done. But now that I'm 30, honestly, don't even bother confronting them. They'll just add more mess to your life. They're very mad and angry because of their jealousy. They're very angry because of their jealousy, their insecurity, and their competitiveness. It's just best not to engage with them, not to create more mess for yourself. And me being in my 30s, it's just, I want to live, I had so much drama in my 20s that I just want to live a more peaceful life, focus on just having a lot of fun with my children and creating like the best childhood memories, and making money and building wealth. And they're just, those people are very mad because they're very jealous and insecure, and they're competing with you, and they're very angry, and they have trauma that maybe they don't even understand, and they're just going to bring more mess into your life. Please, I would say don't confront them, don't argue with them, just completely ghost. And I know it's easier said than done, but like I said, don't confront them, don't fight with them, completely ghost them. And also just keep yourself in your life, your whatever, to yourself. Keep it between you and God. And before I get to the end of the video, another thing I want to say is to keep your life to yourself, is because some people too, the closest people to you, could become, like I said, jealous, insecure, competitive, and they will even try to copy you. I had so many cases where friends, neighbors, I would tell them things and they would copy me. And I got a car from the dealership, and then they would go and get a car from the dealership, and then I planned to get a house in a year or two, and my neighbor was like, well, I want to get a house in a year or two. I had to be inspired by people, but to completely just copy people, it's just not good. And sometimes people just don't have good intentions with you. I've even had names of, I told my sister like a name that I wanted for my future daughter, and she kind of copied me. And I love my niece, I love her so much, and it's beautiful, right? I love her so much, but it's just like, that's not good, especially like a child name. Like, it's something that was dear to my heart, and I shared that with her, and she kind of copied me. And even the theme of my baby, I bought a bunch of blankets that were roses and outfits that were roses, and she completely copied my theme. And that's fine, because they're babies and I love my niece, but it's not a good feeling, you know, because that's your child. That's something that was special that God put in your heart for your daughter. And for someone just to copy you is just, it just doesn't feel good. And I myself purposely try not to copy people just because I've had it done to me so many times, and it just doesn't feel good, you know, and I really try not to copy other people. Even too, if you vent to people, sometimes people will try to bring up your past if they're holding something, you know, like jealousy or hatred towards you. They'll try to bring up things from the past and hold them against you, or try to attack you with things that you've done in your past, or they'll just bring up the past and try to hold it against you, and that's not good, you know. As long as you are getting better, you're somebody that prays, and maybe you go to counseling or you pray or you're trying to get better, the past, your mistakes, that doesn't matter. As long as you're trying to get better and you actually are getting better and doing better. Anyways, you guys, I just think it's really important to really keep your life to yourself and keep your problems, your joys, your goals, your life, just keep it to yourself. Keep it between you and God. Pray, and God's gonna help you. He's gonna bless you, and if you're a good person, He's going to know to bless you. And also, just like the revenge part, like you want to fight with people or get revenge, God sees, even if they try to lie and they try to gaslight and they try to backpedal, God sees everything that is done in the dark. He sees everything. He's watching the people hurting you. He's watching them do what they're doing, and God knows who deserves bad karma and who deserves a blessing. So as long as you keep forth on your path of just being a good person and prayer, God's going to help you and He's going to bless you. If you received any type of help from this, because that's why I want to make YouTube videos, is to help people. If you got any help from this, please click the like button. I'm noticing a lot of views, but not likes, so it's very important, just so that we know that people are watching the videos and maybe you received something helpful from this video. So please hit the like button, comment anything down below, subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye.